We're really concerned right now because lamprey populations are in decline, and so I feel like, we're not living up to our end of the bargain, taking care of these fish. Lamprey were usually lumped in this category of other fish or trash fish. People didn't really understand the connection the tribes had with lamprey. And these fish play an important role, and not just to the ecosystem, but play an important role in our life and our culture. They're involved in our ceremonies at the Longhouse. They're considered one of our first foods. They've always been part of our heritage, and we've made a promise that as long as they're around, we would work to protect them. Lamprey were once very abundant in the entire Columbia Basin and tributaries of the Columbia Basin. Their range extended all the way up into the headwaters of the Columbia, all the way in the upper Snake Basin. Now lamprey are only really present in the mid-Columbia and the lower Columbia River, and it's really tied to passage through the dams. So we're now forced to go to our mainstay, our only place that we can really go is Willamette Falls to get any kind of numbers of lamprey. And we're down there harvesting for our community, so we can have that reconnection with our culture and our heritage and the spirit of the lamprey. They're not going to return here to the Umatilla on their own. I've actually got to go down there and pick these fish out of a fishway and take them on the highway to get them up past these facilities. So it's frustrating in that aspect that that's what we've come to. The whole idea of this is for lamprey to come full circle, not just the Umatilla River, but the Columbia Basin, and not just the Columbia Basin, their entire range. And we're getting those fish and we're placing them right in this prime spawning habitat. We're working to provide passive structures for lamprey to be able to make it up over the system, so eventually, hopefully these fish can survive on their own and they don't need us going down to the main stem dam. They'll be able to make those treks on their own. Improvements that we're making here in the Umatilla and improvements that other tribes are doing in other basins in the Columbia, may not be things, that we get to see the benefit of, in our lifetime. I'm working for generations after me. And hopefully my kids' kids or their grandkids will be able to, harvest lamprey here in the Umatilla.